It's business school without the BS. Featuring optometrist turned entrepreneur, Dr. Robert Zellner, with USSBA Entrepreneur of the Year, Clay Clark. Welcome to the Thrivetime Show on Talk Radio 1170.
Well, Thrive Nation, welcome to the podcast conversation. The podcasts, we're now introducing a new segment exclusively for you, the podcast listeners. This is called the Ask Clay Anything segment, which means that I am going to be answering on the daily questions that you have, that you emailed to info@thrive15.com, that we don't have time to cover on the radio show because, the radio show, we have sponsors, we have a lot of stuff to cover. For instance, the show that we just recorded, the show that we just recorded has been Trumpapalooza all week. Then we have a show coming out about the Bitcoin today. And there's just so much stuff to cover. But the question that was asked is, it says, how do you optimize your happiness? The question is, how do you optimize your happiness? You always seem so happy on the radio. Is that real? Or is that just that Showtime stuff that you guys talk about on your show? That's a great question. How do you optimize your happiness? And am I actually that happy? Or am I just, is it just the Showtime stuff? These are great questions. And so let's start here at the basic. We're going to cover today, we're going to cover 3 core concepts. And so if you're taking notes, and if you're not, you definitely should be. It's a podcast. This is for the really thoughtful people amongst us. But maybe if you aren't in a place where you can take notes, maybe you want to pull on over so you can get some notes. And on these Ask Clay Anything podcasts, we're only going to be going about 10 to 15 minutes here, okay? So this will be a quick, hopefully a quick pick-me-up, a quick answer to all your questions, and a great way to start your day. So first principle is your happiness, your ultimate level of happiness is determined by who you spend your time with, okay? Your ultimate level of happiness is determined by who you spend your time with. So I want to make sure we're getting this concept. There's a notable quotable from Phil Libin. Who's Phil Libin? Phil Libin is the founder of Evernote. Who's Phil Libin? The founder of Evernote. What's Evernote? It's like a note-taking device that allows you to take notes that syncs to your phone and every device you could possibly have so you'll never lose your notes. Do you endorse it? No, I don't really use smartphones. But if you're going to want to sync all your notes to one device, I would recommend Google. The Google products, like maybe the Google Sheets, if you're going to have a spreadsheet, or the Google Docs, the Google Documents. It's like a Google's version of Excel or Word, and as long as you have a Gmail account, you can access it. But the point is, he says, here's a notable quotable. He says, the secret of happiness is minimizing the amount of time you spend with people you don't choose to be with. Wow, is that true? So let's do an example. Let's give an example, maybe a recent one that is hot and fresh for me. We have our holiday party, not tonight, because tonight is December 15th. And by the way, just for the record, this right now, it's actually 3:01 a.m. when I started recording. And so now I don't know what time, but I'll have to get another clock in front of me. But we started recording, I started recording at 3:01 a.m. this morning. Wow, that's really early. How do you stay motivated? We'll get into that, okay? But we have a holiday party that's occurring tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. at the Mayo Hotel. It's an invite-only thing, so Thrive Nation, I love you guys, but you can't necessarily show up to that. But Dr. J, one of our Thrive Nation members, will be there, and Steve Currington, one of our Thrive Nation coaching clients, will be there. But the point is, at the party, we're going to have the best music. It's going to be at the Mayo Hotel. We're having one of our former DJs, when I own DJ Connection, one of the guys I personally trained myself. The guys who I've personally trained myself, I have a whole lot of faith in. The guys that were trained under my system, I have a lot of faith in. Now the company's under new ownership, and I'm sure they do a great job, but I wanted my guys. One of the originals. It's like the movie Armageddon. They round up all the different people that they somehow, they rounded up all these criminals and all these former acquaintances, and they ended up going out and blowing up an asteroid with Bruce Willis. That's kind of like this holiday party. We're getting the band back together. We've got awesome food. I'm talking about the finest food. Any kind of kebab, I'm sure we've got it. Steak, shrimp, chicken. We're going to have a buffet style. We're going to have, it's going to be class. We have a photo booth. We've got up lights. We've got, just unbelievable decor, a great DJ. Marshall Morris is now a business coach, but recovering, DJ. He was a DJ 9 years ago when he first started with me, and now he's a business coach. But you get the point. We're going to have an awesome time. My wife has even allowed me to DJ as a rare act of benevolence. She's allowed me to actually DJ. I say a rare act of benevolence. She's a very benevolent person, but this particular act is rare. For those of you out there who are wondering what I was trying to say. Basically, I am not allowed to DJ anymore because I built the largest wedding entertainment company on the planet, and I DJ'd over 1,000 events when I owned DJconnection.com, and now she says, you can't DJ anymore. But she's given me a hall pass to DJ for about 15 minutes. I'm excited. It could not be better. But here's what's crazy. We've got a person in my office that was stealing information. What kind of information? They were basically trying to use the tools and resources in our building to do side projects that directly conflicted with some of the companies I own. You ever had that happen? A member of your team is directly competing with one of your businesses or your only business, right? And how do you feel when somebody competes against your business, your livelihood, your golden goose? I mean, they're literally staying after hours. You think they're putting in extra work because they're a hard worker. No. What they're doing is they're actually doing what? They're taking your tools and resources to go out there and to work with people, to take your business, to take customers from one of your companies. Just ridiculousness. Now, our PR company, Make Your Life Epic, happens to be one of the largest PR companies in Oklahoma. And so one of the clients had the courtesy to reach out to me and say, hey, are you aware that this person reached out to me and is basically trying to get me to switch from your services to her services? And I thought to myself, really? So, we have cameras in our offices, so I check the tape, verify it from multiple sources, talk to a few other clients. I realized this is actually happening. This is happening. Oh, it's happening. So the holiday invitations have already gone out. The Christmas party invitations have already gone out because the party is right now, Thrive Nation. We're within 48 hours of the party starting. Actually, 36 hours of the party starting. I'm excited. The countdown has begun. But I've already sent out the invitations. So this person's already invited to the party. They could come to the party if they wanted to come to the party because the invite has already been sent. No. Technically, I already invited them, right? Technically, but I own the business. I don't have to allow them to come to my party. I don't need them to be at my party. I don't want to make my own party awkward. You ever been in an elevator, Thrive Nation? Have you ever been up in an elevator? Have you ever been in an elevator? Somebody saying, no, I've never been in an elevator at all. I've never been in one. I just exclusively take escalators. Or I'll take the stairs because I'm really into fitness and I just will never, ever take an elevator. So it might be saying, well, why does the person who sounds so in shape sound like they've got like a sinus cold or something? Because I work out all the time and I never sleep. And so I'm just very sick right now. But I never would take an elevator. I only take the stairs and an escalator. Okay, great. So what happens is I have to have that one-time uncomfortable conversation. That one-time uncomfortable conversation so that I can make sure that my party is not ruined by allowing an idiot to attend the party. I mean, have you ever noticed that you could be on a tropical island surrounded by the most beautiful white sand and crystal clear water? It's like you're swimming in Clearly Canadian. Do you remember that drink? Clearly Canadian? Somebody said, I have no idea what Clearly Canadian is. It was an awesome drink. It was a great drink. It was a flavored drink. Would it be sticky then? I don't know. The point is, you could be swimming in beautiful, crystal clear water, beautiful white sand, and yet, if you had the wrong people with you on the trip would be terrible. The trip would be horrible. It'd be awful. Have you ever noticed that you could be stuck in the lobby of a tag agency? But if you were sincerely surrounded by people that you liked spending time with or having a great conversation, time would just fly by. Going back to the elevator. When you're on an elevator, it's like you're having a great conversation with your friend Pam, and Pam's like, so we're going to do this and we're doing that. I went to Whole Foods and I bought these shoes over. Actually, you bought shoes at Whole Foods? No, I didn't buy my shoes at Whole Foods, but I bought my shoes. Then I went to Whole Foods. Oh my gosh, I bought avocados. You bought avocados at Whole Foods? What did you get? Oh, they were organic. You bought organic? Oh! And so, you could be having a great conversation with your friend Pam, and if your friend's name is Pam, by the way, your name's probably Kim because you're probably slightly north of 40. But the point is, you're in the elevator. You're having a great time. You're at the Renaissance Hotel. You're heading on up, now because you're having girls' night out. You went to Whole Foods. You bought some shoes. You went out to Restaurant Row. Things are going good. You're going up to the top penthouse floor. All the ladies are hanging out. It's like a ladies' slumber party. It's part of the Be Amazing movement. And you're headed up there. And then a third party gets into the elevator. And this is the guy who just finished swimming, who's north of 50, who he looks closer to Jabba the Hutt than he looks to a fitness model. You know what I'm saying? But he has no shame in his game. This guy's not wearing a shirt because he doesn't, frankly, care anymore. He's copiously wealthy. He's financially successful. He's got a big gold chain. If you don't know who I'm talking about, come on. This happened to me when I was on my cruise. The point is, though, this guy hops into the elevator, and you and your friend Pam, I mean, you guys are heading up to your floor. You're all dressed up, and this guy's smelling like chlorine. He's dripping. He kind of smells like a chlorine-soaked sock, and he's got kind of that Guido hair. He's shirtless. He's got a belly that's hanging way over his shorts, his swim shorts. The man should never be shirtless, but he's shirtless now. And he looks over at you two ladies, and he says, "So, ladies, what floor are you going to?" And you're going, we're just having a girls' night out. We're just having a good time. But you were engaged in an awesome conversation before the elevator opened. Bing! And when the elevator opened, he walks in. He says, So good to see you, ladies. I didn't, you guys want to be going with me up to my room? And you're going, no, it's so weird. But you don't say anything because the awkwardness, the profundity of you and Kim and Pam, you're having a great conversation. You're headed up to the top. It's ladies' night. You're part of the Be Amazing or Be Awesome, whatever that movement is. You're headed upstairs to the floor. You've got a great night planned. It's going to be awesome. It couldn't be better. You're going to be playing, I don't know, what a 45-year-old lady's doing. You doing like a bunko party up there? I don't know. You talking about your feelings for 4 hours? I don't know what you're doing, but you're having a great time. You're having a blasty blast. You're looking through old nostalgic photos on Facebook. You're tagging each other and talking about how great life is. I don't know what you're doing. You're doing the Be Amazing movement. You're doing that. But now Guido is in the elevator with you. You know, Lou. His name's Lou. He's like 53, 54, but he hasn't worked out in like 3 decades, and he's probably rocking closer to 400 pounds than 150 pounds. And he's a shorter guy. He's like 5'7", 5'6", and he's just copiously successful financially. He's got the gold chain on. He says, "So, ladies, seriously, so you guys want to head up to my floor? Because I would love to make a love connection. You know what I'm saying?" And you're going, "This is so gross." And so you just are in absolute silence. You get up to the floor. You get out at the wrong floor because you don't want them to know what floor you're on. Or you know what I'm saying? You could have got out at your floor. No, yeah, you could have done that. But instead, you got out at a different floor because you were afraid for him to even know what floor you're on. So you get off at floor 10. You walk up the freaking stairs. Come on, Kim, let's go. Let's go up 4 floors. And so we're up to floor 11. Oh my gosh, I'm so tired. Floor 12. I mean, because you just had avocado, guacamole. It was the hand-mixed guacamole. It's the kind they make it in front of your table. You just had that with your friend after going to Whole Foods, buying shoes, celebrating the Be Amazing movement. You've probably taken 18 selfies at this point. You've taken food selfies. You've taken food, felfies? I don't know. You've taken food selfies of your food. You've tagged each other on Facebook. You're just having a great time. But Lou has destroyed the ambiance. So you're walking up now to floor 13. Come on, let's go. Is it floor 13? Yeah. Oh, my gosh. And then Kim says, there isn't even a floor 13. It's bad luck. And you're like, there is a floor 13, Kim. And so you walk up to floor 14, but you're wondering if it's actually 13. And you're like, frick, I just can't even find my room key. And then all of a sudden you realize, wait a minute. We were having a great time before this crazy creeper guy named Lou hopped into our elevator and killed our mojo. Until you said, wait a minute, I was going to have a great vacation until I realized I invited an idiot. Wait a minute, I was going to have a great Christmas party until I realized that I was going to allow an idiot who's going to make it awkward. I was going to allow an idiot who is stealing customers from one of my businesses, killing my golden goose. And am I going to be a man and say, you can't attend the party? Or am I going to be a weak sauce boss and let it happen and then make my party awful to accommodate the needs of idiots? So really the question is, how do you optimize your happiness? Why am I so happy? Because I am never in the company of idiots very long. I do not suffer fools. Well, you're kind of a mean person. Well, okay, concept number 2. The people that you surround yourself help to shape your moral boundaries and your ambition, your aim and your mission. Do you understand? I want you to write that down. That's pretty good, right? The people that you surround yourself help to shape your moral boundaries and your ambition. You know Tim Ferriss. Tim Ferriss is the best-selling author of the 4-Hour Workweek series. He just wrote a book called Tribe of Mentors. I highly recommend you go get that book. And he was asked in an interview, hey, if you could put a billboard, if you've given a chance to write anything on the billboard, what would you do? I mean, what would you write on that billboard? That's a great question to ask. I mean, if you had one billboard you could write anything on, what would you put on that billboard? What words would you type on that billboard? By the way, you don't want to put too many words because people can't see it when they're driving. What would you put? Well, without hesitation, instantaneously, my main man, Tim Ferriss, he fires back. He says, you are the average of the 5 people you most associate with. Think about that. The self-help guru, he did not hesitate at all. He said, you are the average of the 5 people you most associate with. So again, why am I always so happy? It's because I'm not going to spend time with idiots. I'm in the process of building a wall around my house because why? Because I'm so tired of idiots stopping by. I cannot handle it. I just cannot suffer fools. People that don't know what they're talking about but want to tell you what to do with your life. People that are not happy wanting to talk to you about the negativity in their marriage. I mean, people say all the time, yeah, our marriage sucks. People say that all the time. I don't know why you would tell your business coach or a friend or a neighbor, hey, my marriage sucks. Or why you would complain about your spouse. I do not ever complain about my spouse in front of other people. Why? One, because any problem that I'm having with her is my fault. Someone should write that down. But any problem that I'm having with her is my fault. He who finds a good wife, right, finds a good thing, right? But he who has a happy wife has a happy life. I'm just telling you this. If you are irritating your wife, as a general rule, now if you chose wisely, now if you married somebody that's an idiot, then we got a separate discussion for that. But I do not spend my time in doom loop conversations. I really just do not invest a lot of time with idiots. So again, I just want to make sure that we're giving you time to write this down. This is powerful. The people that you surround yourself help to shape your moral boundaries and your ambition. Concept number 3. Oh, how's it possible that we're getting 3 incredible concepts and yet you didn't start recording until 3:01 a.m.? You mean I could have great concepts before 4 a.m.? Well, it depends when you listen to it, but yes. Do you mean you could do something proactive before 3 a.m.? Yes. Do you mean that it's possible to actually wake up at 3 a.m.? Yes. Somebody says, well, why do you wake up at 3 a.m.? Because the idiots aren't up yet. Go to Walmart. The photos of Walmart, the people of Walmart, those photos, kind of that trending thing where people mock the people who go to Walmart. By the way, don't mock Walmart. I go to Walmart myself, by the way. And I realize that I'm not classy, but I know there are classy people that go to Walmart. But I love going to Walmart at 4 a.m. because the idiots aren't there. The people that were taking photos of the people of Walmart, they're not there at that time. They're asleep. They're at the casino. They're hungover. They're in bed. But at 3 a.m., it's awesome. And by the way, if you go to bed at 9 and you sleep 6 hours, 3 a.m. is when you can wake up. I mean, think about that. Just go to bed at 9, wake up at 3. Try that for 30 days. Why? You don't have time to write that book? You don't have time to write that love letter for your wife? You don't have time to plan the weekend? You don't have time to think about where you are versus where you want to be? You don't have to have time to improve to schedule time for your faith? You don't have time for your family to block out time? You don't have time to schedule family, faith, family, finances? You don't have time to look at your finances? You don't have time for fitness? I'm going to go work out here in just a minute. You don't have time for your fitness. You don't have time for friendships. I mean, let me tell you what. You just go to bed at 9 and wake up at 3, and you will find a massive amount of time. It's very, very few interruptions at 3 a.m., by the way. Just me and my podcast waking you up here. So concept number 3, your network is your net worth. Who says that? Porter Gale. What? Who said that? Porter Gale. Porter? Are you saying Porter? Porter like a porter, one that ports? Right, Porter Gale. This lady was once the vice president of Virgin America, where she was hired to launch a couple of Richard Branson's new ideas. And she was in charge of launching the Virgin America, the airline, launching the Virgin America brand from 2007 to 2011. Since that time, she signed a book deal with Simon & Schuster, and she's written, best-selling books, and she knows what she's talking about. But she says, as she's studied successful people, as she's looked at the lives of successful people, She wrote this very artfully. It's a nice, notable quote, but more clever than what I could have come up with. She says, your network is your net worth. Your network is your net worth. Well, man, I don't think that my network, it all affects my net worth. I mean, Carl up there, he's one of the best coon wranglers I've ever seen, and Jerry, he does very well. And when he's chicken fighting, whenever you go out and chicken fight, he's one of the best chicken fighters there is. And then Reginald, now, he knows a lot about how to make a semi-automatic automatic, if you know what I mean. I mean, he knows how to, and then Lloyd, he parks a bus on his lawn, but he's actually done some decorative landscaping, and he's grown a tree through the middle of the he's left it there that long that there's a tree growing right out of the center of the, there's not an engine in the bus anymore, but it's parked right there on his lawn. I mean, people that have left a bus on their lawn so long that it's grown a tree through it. Have you seen that? Why do you have a spare bus? Who's buying spare buses? And then why would you leave it sitting so long that you have a tree growing through it? That would be weird, except that there's like somehow a refrigerator that somehow is growing into the bus. What's going on? I mean, geographically, it could impact you. Your network is your net worth. Geographically. Physically, who you come in contact with, social media, who's writing messages, who's tagging you, who's in your life. Thrive Nation, I love you guys. I care about you. I want to leave you with this deep thought, and then I will stop harassing you today, right? This is the day that the Lord has made, and you should rejoice and be glad in it. That sounds pretty clever. I feel like I know that. Well, it's Psalms 118:24. It says, this is the day that the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. Listen, I'm a pagan, buddy. Quit quoting the Bible. Fine. It is profound if you are above the ground. I encourage you to write that down. It is profound if you are above the ground. Make today a verb and not a noun. Put some action behind your passion. It is profound if you are above the ground. Make today a verb and not a noun. Put some action behind that passion. My name's Clay Clark. You've been listening to the Ask Clay Anything segment of the Thrivetime Show early edition of the podcast. Have a wonderful day. Don't sneak into my holiday party, but if you do, I'll give you a fist bump. Mayo Hotel, 6:30 p.m. downtown. Don't come, but if you do, show up around 8 o'clock and give me a fist bump. My name's Clay Clark, former USSBA Entrepreneur of the Year, father of 5 kids. Who's thinking about you? Who's cheering for you? I am. Go out there and get it done. Take care. Are we done? Is that all he does? Actually, Thrive Nation, if you can share this podcast with just one person in your life, think about one person in your life that needs some encouragement. One person in your life who needs to hear this information. If you'd share it with them, I'll be a happy camper and a sensational dancer on Saturday night at the Mayo Hotel. Peace out. Have a great day.